Good evening. This is Debbie Davis. It is October 15th, 2024. Okay, so I just had that phone call today, and they said they were going to email me the confirmation or some kind of confirmation in just a couple hours, and I did not receive an email from this company. I had canceled. I had gone in and canceled the subscription online, like I thought I did online. Like where you're supposed to hit the cancel with this company, and then they went ahead and charged my bank account. So sometimes I don't. This is the kind of thing. This kind of thing has happened to me for years. Glitches in the computer. I mean, even anybody that knows anything about computers, there's so much that can be hacked and different things that can happen. Even a computer programmer will tell you that. There's always like people spend all this money for this firewall software. These companies have, they're supposed to be help them with hacking, and the people that develop that firewall software, they're probably the ones doing the hacking. So they probably have a back door on how to hack your company. Anyways, it's usually the people that develop these type of software programs and different things like that are the ones that end up hacking. I mean, I just talked to somebody about that today. It's just like I mean, there's so many ways that we can get hacked, and yeah, I've had this happen before where I've canceled something, either on the phone or on the computer, and then it'll my something will happen anyways, and I'll still get a charge, and they'll be like, oh, we didn't receive that, or we didn't receive the phone call. Then you got to keep the screenshots and everything that you, I mean, this, so anyway, I believe, and this has happened to me before, where when I call a place, sometimes it doesn't sound like a real customer service place. It sounds like it's being redirected to a different place. Okay, and then Alice reminded me of these fusion centers. And I mean, somebody wrote on my comment that, maybe I shouldn't mention the CIA. This is all, I know that this is all, most of this is the CIA that's harassing me. And these fusion centers are very much involved with the CIA. Okay? I don't care how crazy it sounds. I just don't care how crazy it sounds, because we have to know these things, because it's there's a Bible verse that talks about it. I mean, my people are destroyed. It's in Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will reject thee. Thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, and I also forget thy children. Okay, anyway, that's the verse. But for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Has been a very important verse, that we have to know these things, no matter how crazy or whatever it sounds. Anyway, but and so I think that I just didn't know. I don't know enough about the technology to know how this works, but I've had multiple times where I've called or try to, like I've talked about this before, where I'll try to text this friend of mine, Dana, and she won't receive the text. Or same thing with her. She'll text me back, and then I won't receive it. It's like somebody is redirecting or stopping our calls in my communications. It's like, and I wasn't sure if it's the Stingray, but I actually think it's these fusion centers. And I think these fusion centers, so every state has something called a fusion center. And I think it's these fusion centers that are pretending to be customer service. I think my phone calls are possibly, like today, the thing that didn't make sense what this guy said is that, he acted, they act legitimate, and then let me look up your account, stuff like that. But then, at first when the automated system came on, they said they found my account under the phone number that I had signed up for. And then all of a sudden, he's like, no, we can't find your account under the phone number. And it's, well, that's weird because it said it in the automated message that you found my account. And then he had this old email, this old Gmail that's my account has been full, and I haven't had a chance to clean it out, and I didn't use that Gmail to sign up for this cover letter thing. This was like one thing that I printed that I paid like $250, to print it, and I did not need the service any more than that, and so I had canceled. Okay, but then it's like, how there's no way that he would have known anything about my old Gmail. He's reading off my old Gmail address, Mir Q Goldwater, and so that was a real big red flag that happened today. To me, that was a sign that these people are not legitimate, that I was just talking to today. I believe that a lot of my phone calls are being redirected to these fusion centers. Okay, there's a fusion center. It's one right in Minnesota. Okay, and look at this. It's got a lighthouse. Alice has talked about Richard Lighthouse being involved in he's like head of the targeted community. His symbol is the lighthouse. Okay, so do the fusion centers have their symbol as the lighthouse too. Okay, so that's why Alice doesn't trust Mr. Lighthouse. Okay. And neither do I. They pretend like they're good guys, but really they're part of it. Okay. So almost every state has one of these fusion centers. Okay, this one, it's located right here. Minnesota Fusion Centers. Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. What in the heck do these guys do? We have to start questioning these things. Who are these people? It says that Minnesota Fusion Center is a section of the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. The Fusion Center purpose is to allow participating agencies to share information about suspected criminal activity. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has supported the establishment of centers called Fusion Centers. Oh, so the Homeland Security, that guy who isn't protecting our border, that needs to be arrested for treason. Yeah, he's involved in the fusion centers. So do you think we can trust any of these people? That whatever his name is, Mayorkas or whatever, the head of Homeland Security that needs to be arrested for treason and allowing our border to be wide open? Yeah, that guy with the Homeland Security. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has supported the establishment of centers called fusion centers in every state to coordinate. Oh yeah, they're in every state to coordinate the information sharing functions between federal, state, and local and tribal law enforcement agencies, as well as other public safety agencies and the private sector. Okay, so basically it's telling me that they're the ones giving the information to the FBI and the police, the fusion centers. So I think what Alice was saying, and what I believe too, I think it's the Washington D.C. And the CIA and these fusion centers. So the CIA works directly with the fusion centers, and then the fusion center gives the information of who is on this targeted list to the FBI, and then the FBI gives the information to the police. Okay, so this is a real organized when you get on this targeted list. Okay, so, and you have no way of getting yourself off of it. You have no court case. You have no way of appealing. Can I get off this list? Maybe was there a mistake? I am a legitimate whistleblower, and the guys did go to jail, but somehow I'm a criminal. I'm not sure about your fusion center here. I think you're the criminals. Okay, fusion centers. Okay, well, anyway, fusion centers provide an environment where the stakeholders collaboratively work together, gathering information, analyzing data, and sharing information to improve ability to fight crime and terrorism locally, regionally, and nationally. Why does it even mention stakeholders? Okay, so this is what Alice has said. It's like they got stock on her. She's like she's got these helicopters flying above her, and she says she knows that they have her like tracked, or like some kind of tracking device they put on her somewhere. She thinks it's in her throat, and it's like they got stock on her. She always says it's like they have stock on me. They all got bids on me or something, and so maybe that's what she's. It's like they have. It's like we're part of an investment or something because we're in the original bloodline. They something with it. They need our DNA. And they got her hooked directly into CERN, and somehow, and that's we're this is what I'm trying to figure out. This is what I'm just trying to help people to understand is that this goes way deeper than what we think. And we have to be more smart on who these agencies are. There's a big one in South Dakota too, and I forgot what town it's in, but yeah. And I think all the scams, like when people get scammed, and they sound like there's all these different people in the background, these scamming agencies, that are. I think they're all coming from these fusion centers. There's one in every state, and they sound like they're different nationalities or whatever. I think they're coming from right here. I think they're coming. All these different scams, like they try to scam the old people, or they really take advantage of people that don't know anything about the computers, and then they'll say your computer got hacked or something like this, so you got to call this number. And then like an elderly person gets so confused, and then they could be trying to get information from them what their password is, like, okay, you got to input your password now so we can help you log back in. And then they'll probably steal their password and get their bank account or something. These are, I think this is where most of the scams are coming from. And like these companies, like where it sounds like you call customer service and it doesn't sound like it's a real customer service. It sounds like something shady. And I think that's it's these fusion centers. I think they're committing fraud against all of us. I think they're probably committing all kinds of embezzlement and fraud. They're not working with local. They're trying to like I said, it's our government is the problem. I've been pointing this out for years now, and I've provided plenty of evidence over the years that that has happened to me personally as a whistleblower. It's I thank God every day that I'm still alive. It's an absolute miracle with how many attempts I've had of different things either to fraud me. It's like every day. It's seriously like every day something happens. They try to it's not an issue with my bank, but my bank did alert me right after that phone call. They said, "Did you authorize this charge?" And I said no. And Navy Federal used to be really good about calling right away, and if there's any kind of fraud. People made comments like, "Get away from that bank," or maybe you should try a different bank. Oh, really? What bank do you think I should try? What bank is any different? Bank America just got all their different, they took all. I don't know. Did those people ever get their money back? They got completely wiped out. I wouldn't go with Wells Fargo. They've had a history of frauding their customers. I wouldn't go with U.S. Bank. They got like a millions of dollar lawsuit for doing these things where they were rotating bank account. I had them, and they were horrible. Like, they were purposely causing me bounce checks because of the way that they would process things. They would process a larger payment before a smaller payment. and they got in trouble and I got sued for like millions of dollars. Okay, so I definitely wouldn't go with them. And then the smaller banks, they're trying to say, I mean, people have said, it's not safe to go with a smaller bank either because they probably won't make it through this whole thing. And so I have no idea who to bank with. Other people have had, I would say probably the credit unions seem to be better. Like in the past, I've had different types of other credit, like Affinity Credit Union. I think they were, they seem to have less fees. Like the thing I like about Navy Federal Credit Union is that they don't have all these crazy fees. I mean, with U.S. Bank, I remember it was like some other banks. It was always like a fee for this, a fee for that. I mean, and they were always just taking these fees out, and then I would have these discussions with going to the bank and be like, where does it say when I signed up for this bank account that you're gonna give you access to all these fees, and then and they'll never have like a legitimate answer, but then they won't give you your money back. I mean, I was constantly having fights like with US Bank about that type of thing.